Second video, 40 morning. Okay, a couple things I wanted to touch on. So I posted this video last night. I used this phone. This is my T-Mobile phone. This is my burner phone. I'm working on other things because they're both a joke. And I've had this burner phone for a year now, so it's due time to get a fresh new one. And I don't trust ordering anything after everything I've been through in the last couple of years and all the crap that they've done to my personal checking account and stuff like that. Like, I just don't trust it. And so that said, I'm one of those people. I learn very pretty quickly. And I learn from my mistakes. I also learn from other people's mistakes. I also learn from patterns and synchronicities very quickly. So when I start picking up on different things that they do and stuff like that, I know what not to do. You know what I'm missing? Like, I just do. So anyways, I posted this video. So I love Titty Swims. A big fan. I love that remix. Anyways, it's this 30-second video, and it took a little bit to upload. And see, my lips were aligned, but when it uploaded, my lips are not aligned. And I now realize that they do that as well as a tactic for my lips to not be aligned. It's where I look like AI and all this crap, because I know that's been a narrative passed out. That's like all they got is to pass out narratives. But it's like, that's the mechanics. That's the mechanics behind the scene. This is how embedded. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know you got a story to tell if they go that deep to make sure your lips aren't aligned. So, cheers to that. Cheers to that. I mean, golly, could you imagine explaining to your kids your legacy? Well, actually, children. I was a part of different organizations and stuff, and I had to create programs and software programs that went into people's personal properties to censor them and to do all this cyber attacking on the back end. You see, that is what I did for a living. Aren't you proud of mama or daddy? Come on now, people. And so anywho, I wanted to touch on that because I see y'all on that one. So it came to me last night before I went to bed. I can speak on whatever I want to speak on. No one controls me, my speech, and that's a threat. 'Tis it is. I can speak on whatever I want. I can. Nobody controls me. No one controls my voice. And that is a threat. And we all have that ability to use our voice. Our voice is actually a threat. It's one of our biggest threats. They don't want us to use our voice, but it actually is a big threat. We all need to adopt the ability and the mindset to start using your voice, advocating for yourself, advocating for others, advocating for what's right. And in your own time, you'll start to adopt that and build your voice as you refine yourself and walk through your healing, your childhood traumas, figure out what you stand on, figure out what your morals, your values, your integrity, your ethics are, your dignity, your grace, all these things. Once you figure out all these things, it's very easy to start using your voice. The freedom of your voice and how they try to make it. Your voice is not just a sound, it's identity, it's lineage, it's purpose, it's spiritual authority, and it's the one thing no one can take unless you surrender it. The only thing that they can take from you is your voice, but if you give that to them. Your voice is your freedom, your truth, your interpretation of your own story, your wisdom gained through pain, spiritual evolution, your ability to name what happened to you. I can speak freely about what happened to me because I'm speaking it in truth. I'm speaking to you what happened to me in truth. From like the day I came out of my mother's womb to now. I speak everything in truth. Your power is to teach, warn, uplift, and expose and heal. That's exactly what I'm here for. Exactly. Like, nobody can tell me otherwise. I know that's what I'm here for. When you speak, you step into your ownership of your life. We all step into our own ownership of our life when we choose to speak on our truth, on our emotions, on our feelings. Your emotions are important. Your feelings are important. They should be validated. You know, so often enough, people don't want to be vulnerable and speak about their feelings because they're scared that they're going to get shunned. You know, that reminds me so much of my ex. That's why I've always carried such a soft spot in my little heart for that little man. He shared so much with me, and I hold that so near and dear to my heart. I've always seen beyond so much when it comes to him. I hope and pray that he sees what I see. I hope that he finally sees that. I pray that for everyone, truthfully. In my past, I've always looked at people and seen stuff and seen things within themselves that they don't even see with them. That's why I've always loved with an unconditional heart. Now, did I know in different ways that people were insecure with me and this and that? But yeah, of course I did. But I always chose to lead with a loving heart because I always knew that generally people just don't choose to hate you because, especially if they don't have any reason to and you're innocent in that, it's like, it has nothing to do with you. It's all them. You know what I mean? And I feel bad for them. What is your voice? Why your voice threatens people? Built power through manipulation, relied on your silence, created false narratives, projected their guilt onto you. That was a big thing. People have, and now do it, project their guilt onto me. Like I see it with my siblings, I see it with my family, I see it with all kinds of different things. People project, my aunt, they project their guilt onto me because they know what they do. They know what they've done. You know what I mean? But I can't wear their guilt. That's something that they have to wear, and I've had to walk through my guilt too, in reference to the shortcomings I've went through in being a parent to my son, in reference to the decisions that I made in the last 18 years of my life, being his mother, from my marriage to my workplace environments, to all these things. I've had to wear that guilt on, and I get it. There's nothing like looking in the mirror and recognizing you haven't been a good parent. And I take that and I own it. You know what I mean? There's nothing like looking in the mirror and being like, wow, you weren't the best version of yourself. And because you weren't the best version of yourself, you lived in a reality filled with chaos and manipulation. Period. And it's people don't want to look at that, but it's the truth. And I don't mind looking at that dark shadows of myself because I know it's truth. And the only way to get to the other side of truly who you are is to look at your truth. It just is. Thrived of secrecy, feared exposure or accountability. Tactics people use to take your voice. Yeah, you can't have my voice. You cannot. Gaslighting, slander, isolation, fear tactics, distraction, control of the narrative, shame, ridicule. Ridicule, that's a big one. People like to ridicule you. I think it's funny. Just like they ridicule Candace just for her standing on truth and justice. Let me tell you something about Valhalla. All right, that's a podcast I watch. Nate, my man, he called out whatever his name is that totally went hands down on Candace. Whatever, something Poole, Tim Poole, I think. And he's like, yo, bro, you don't talk about women like that. You don't degrade women like that. You don't have to agree with women, but you don't do that. No man would do that. And I loved it. I just did. It's good to see that we have men out there that stand on that. You know what I mean? Women get so mistreated for no reason. It's just crazy. You don't have to agree with someone. People don't have to agree with me. People don't have to believe me. And that's fine too, but you don't have to degrade me. You don't have to tear me down. It's just crazy. It's crazy. It's just not right. I'm not tearing you down just because you don't believe me. I still love you, but your voice is a spiritual weapon. That it is. Lies fall apart, manipulation gets exposed, masks break, illusions collapse, healing becomes possible, and others become free by watching you walk in freedom. And that's what I'm here to do. Ding, ding, ding. Is help free others. Help others break the chains that they wear. Invisible chains. I'm here to be the stepping stone to show the way. Kris Jenner, by the way, why is she all up on this algorithm? Woman, you need to accept the reality that you're going to get older. Quit doing all this crazy stuff. You're beautiful. You were beautiful 10 years ago. You were beautiful last year. You're beautiful now. I don't know why all you guys got to keep doing this crap and floating all this crap. Like the Kardashians, like, get it together. Come on, guys. Like, you're millionaires, billionaires. Like, is that not enough for you? Why do you got to keep selling all these products? Like, when is it enough? Like, it's just weird to me. Like, grab some humility. It's just weird.